This new Adagio add-on program provides a more formalized return merchandise authorization process to Adagio order entry. When Adagio RMA is installed, it is immediately recognized by order entry with a release date of at least January 2016. No options are required to enable in order to activate RMA functionality. There are a few settings in the company profile that appear only when the RMA add-on is recognized. On the Numbering Tax tab, automatic RMA numbers can be configured, as well as default values for how old completed RMAs are before they are purged. The Processing Options tab allows setting a default document type on posting when quantity returned is on an RMA detail, how old RMAs can be before they expire, and if a specific location is desired for processing RMAs that overrides what was on the customer invoice. And the Spec Options tab has a place to set default RMA spec forms and an attachment folder. If you only want some staff to be allowed to enter RMAs, but not others, this can be configured in Security Groups and the Entry Template area. An option at the very bottom determines whether users belonging to this security group are allowed to create RMAs. An RMA can be labeled for the purpose of the return by creating selectable records from the Edit menu and reason codes. These simple codes can be configured as needed to allow adding a specified return reason to an RMA, and a customized report or inquiry can be created based on code values for analysis. To create a new RMA, access the Enter Order screen, and a new RMA tab is revealed where transactions with this document type are listed. Click the New button to start a new document. Creating a new RMA may be done completely from scratch or based upon an existing invoice, which will load document information and details from there into the RMA. If desired, enter the expected return date, which can optionally propagate to all item details, or edit individual item return dates as needed. A reason code may be entered to indicate the purpose of the RMA for customized reporting. On the Details tab, items or other detail types may be added or edited or deleted, and for each item, an RMA quantity that will be returned is required, which comes from the quantity shipped of the invoice. And if applicable, enter the quantity of items already returned. If returned items are selected to be added back into inventory stock with the Return to IC setting, the quantity on RMA will be stored by location until such time that the items are received back from the customer and a credit note is posted. A new feature for order entry is to refund payments on credit notes, and RMA documents also support this feature. Click the Payment button and either manually enter or auto-generate a refund reference in the check number field. This information is saved with the RMA, but not yet processed, until such time that a credit note is eventually posted for this RMA. On the Totals tab, this refund information is displayed at the bottom. When you post an RMA with no items having a return quantity, your only choice is to post an RMA and not a credit note, with an automatically generated RMA number if configured. When you post an RMA with a miscellaneous charge or any item having a non-zero return quantity, this allows creating a credit note document at the same time. Or you may choose to post RMAs with quantity returned and post the credit note at a later time. Items with no more expected quantity to return are marked as completed, and RMAs with no more outstanding items are marked as completed as well. Document and history filters may be created for RMAs in order to restrict the list to those that meet desired criteria, such as those outstanding, printed, or completed, just like for other documents. RMAs can be set to expire, with a setting in the company profile for a number of days. There is no explicit expiry date saved or displayed within an RMA. But when today is that many days after the RMA date, and either the document is edited or day-end processing is run, it is considered expired. A true false value is flagged on expired RMAs for selection in custom reports or inquiries. Any quantity on RMA determined from this document will be reset to 0. But there's no prevention in processing a credit note against an expired RMA, should that be necessary. RMA documents are not evaluated by day-end processing, apart from expiry. But completed RMAs are copied to history, as with other document types. And you may also choose to purge RMAs older than a specified date. After an RMA has been posted, it can be printed or emailed as a form, just like for other order entry documents, and it can be set to directly print after posting a new RMA. Spec forms have a specific RMA type, and a default spec form and printer may be configured in the Workstation Options area. A print status is also maintained to avoid resending a duplicate RMA unless specifically desired. Current RMAs can be viewed without being in edit mode from the Inquiries menu and the Document selection. Just like when editing, an RMA tab lists these transactions for viewing. The Find button allows searching for RMA document numbers and either locate the RMA itself or the related order, invoice, or credit note. When searching for credit note numbers, you may choose to locate the associated RMA and either highlight the record on the grid or open the document for viewing. Completed RMAs cleared to history may also be viewed, either from the RMA tab for just RMAs or from the Reference tab, along with all other history documents, sorted by reference. And the Items tab allows searching for particular historical item details found on RMA documents in the same way as other documents. And just like credit notes, you may issue an RMA against an invoice that has been cleared to history by opening the Invoices tab, highlighting the desired invoice, and clicking the Create RMA button. After confirming, the new RMA dialog appears and can be adjusted as necessary prior to posting. The Order List report has been updated to allow choosing the RMA document type. This will print a list of RMAs for a selected range of documents or customers, from either the current or historical list or both, for various RMA statuses, and with desired additional information, such as about the customer or item details. This report is useful for printing information about RMA documents. A second transaction report for an RMA listing prints item detail information from either the current or historical list or both, which can be grouped by the item number or other ways. This report is useful to list items on RMA and expected return dates.